I'm live. Hello. Let's see if anybody's out there, shall we? We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Oh. Hey, we got one person. Yay! Hello, one person. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. Exactly, Jerry. From one to another. Exactly. Rick and Cam end, and I pick it right up. We gonna have a party. A good old Sunday afternoon, you know? I got nothing else to do, so I figured might as well come on here and have some fun with y'all. We got 7. I got no plan. I'm just letting y'all dictate the conversation and we'll have some fun, you know? See if we got any trolls today. That was kind of fun yesterday. Dealing with the trolls and banning them. I dropped the ban hammer on those trolls. That's right. I got this song, We Built This City, stuck in my head. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. I know, right? It's a great song. Nothing like Elvis, though. Elvis songs are the best. Let's see. What Elvis song should I sing? On a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby starts to cry in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand. We're gonna be an angry young man someday. Take a look at you and me. We too blind to see. Do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns. And a hungry little boy with the runny nose chains in the street as the poor wind goes in the ghetto. I think I can do this. Background. Ooh. Let's see. I want my background to be epic, so we're going to get an epic background here. Okay. So, ready? 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1. Look, it's epic. I can turn portrait mode on. Ooh. Edge light, studio light, portrait. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. I'm epic. Isn't that cool? Woohoo! Epic! Yay! Okay. So, I want to see something here. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button, y'all. Okay. So, I want to continue our little Graceland tour here and have some fun. So, I'm going to pull it up. My Elvis folder here. See if I can share it. All right. So, if I hit that button. Okay. So, let's look at this here. If this is Graceland outside, right? We got the lions over here. This is the garage apartment that was put on. This is really cool. Like you're really there, you know? Now, obviously, this was done before Lisa and Ben were put in the meditation garden, so don't think anything about that. So let's go inside, shall we? All right. So this is the foyer. If we look up, this is the chandelier Elvis broke. See the missing strand right here? Elvis broke it doing karate. It's actually pretty cool. But if we turn here, see this spot right here? This is the stain Elvis did when he shot his toilet. Because remember, he shot the toilet and the water came flying down. Can you imagine just standing right here or standing in the foyer and all of a sudden this breaks open and just water goes everywhere? Now, this photo right here of Lisa Marie, I have photos of that photo being here and this photo being over here. This photo was not always there. Now, if you watch the Christmas footage from 1969, the Christmas footage is there. The photo's there because Priscilla walks down these stairs and models next to it. It's actually pretty cool. But this was changed. These right here, did you know that these are elephant legs? And they had tusks on them, but they cut the tusks off for tours so people wouldn't get hurt. And then behind this right here is an actual mural. It's one of two murals in the house. There's this one here, and then there's one upstairs as well that we can't see, unfortunately. But this was changed, I think, in 74 when they redid everything. Or maybe it was changed afterwards. I'm not 100% sure. But if you look at the top of the stairs, behind the blue curtain is the ladies' bathroom. There's a bunch of tile back there. This door right here takes you to the kitchen. Many people think that it takes you to Elvis's bedroom, but no, it takes you to the down to the it's the secret passageway into the kitchen. And then if you go up the stairs and take the right and go up, there's a door right here that takes you into the hallway. Yes, Kelsey, you're right. That photo of Elvis was in Vernon's office in 1997. This one right here. It's him holding a bicycle tire. And that's the photo also that shows his natural hair color of blonde. But Yeah, so upstairs at Graceland, you have Elvis's bedroom, you have Elvis's closet, you have Lisa's bedroom. Now, Elvis's closet was transformed from a bedroom. That's how many clothes he had. So his bedroom, his closet was an old bedroom. And then you have Lisa's bedroom and then the attic. So Elvis's bedroom, Elvis's office, Elvis's closet, Lisa's bedroom, and the attic. Lisa's bedroom used to be Minnie Mae's bedroom, but then Minnie Mae moved down here after Gladys passed away. You're a big Elvis fan? Well, I hope you still are. Now, this right here is a closet. And if you were to open that door right there, you would see Graceland's original blue paint color. It's the only place in the house where it still exists. All right. Anything else in here that's I believe the stained glass wasn't put until the 70s, 74 maybe during that renovation. I could be wrong though. But my observation, Elvis didn't like a lot of photos around of himself, but there sure are a lot of mirrors. All right, let's go into the parents' bedroom here. All right. So if we look in the parents' bedroom, this is how it looked when Gladys and Vernon was there. After Gladys passed away and Minnie Mae moved in, there were a lot of changes, like the bedspread and stuff. They said that they, when they brought it back to how it looked after 1993, when Aunt Delta passed away, they had to reupholster everything. There was upholstery behind the existing stuff that was there. Excuse me, but this is how it looked in the. She died in 58, so yeah, 50s. And then this is the bathroom right here. Then this is the closet. When you're on the tour, you walk into about, I want to say maybe here, because this is plexiglass, and this is open, but you can't like look in it. You can just see it. But you walk in, you peek in the bathroom, you see the poodle on the wall, and then you see the closet with Gladys's belongings. And then, of course, you have Elvis as a child here. That's a Tupelo photo. I think he's age 5 there. And then you have Minnie Mae's stuff and Gladys's hat. But I always wondered if there's stuff in these drawers. Probably, I would think so. Because remember, everything was left where it was found, in the house at least. Now, if you look at Lisa's album in 2012, Storm and Grace, this room was used for the photo shoot. So Lisa's laying on the bed, she's sitting in the chair. Riley has also used it for her short film she did. She was laying on the bed as well. And then, of course, during Christmas time and Mother's Day, they put flowers in here and I think a little Christmas tree. It's actually pretty cool. And then, of course, you have a phone on the wall. And the lamps are pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that design. Doesn't that seem cool? And then, of course, you got a little Bible on the wall. It's interesting to me how the plugs are in the floor, like they're trying to be hidden. See that? And then the light switches are crazy in Graceland too. But the amount of people that have walked in this room and seen, I don't. That's interesting. There's a light switch there, but I wonder what that is. Could it maybe be a volume control for the speaker? Because remember, the whole house is wired with stereo too. But I don't see a speaker in the ceiling. That'd be a good question for Andy. I wonder if, like in modern houses, if one of them controls the plugs, maybe? Because there's no. Is there a chandelier here? Yeah, there is. Look at that beautiful chandelier. Wow. Just think how long it takes to clean this place, too. Insanity, I tell you. Insanity. All right. I think we spent enough time in Gladys's room. Let's go to the living room. All right. Obviously, we have the stained glass peacocks. Those are added in '74. Here, if you open one of these drawers, there is a samurai sword in there. You can go on YouTube to find the details about that. I believe Dick Grove tells the story. The fireplace. Just imagine sitting on a 15-foot couch behind us and just having a fire going and just memories in that room. Right here is where Elvis did his karate demonstration. You can see there's pictures here when they used to have drapes here. Elvis's mom and dad. This portrait of Vernon was given by Elvis in 1976 as a Christmas present. And then you got light switches here, which I bet you those go to the plugs because, as you can see, there's no light in this room. So I bet those go to the plugs. I imagine. And then I wonder, are these like mini safes? Because it looks like there's a combination on the front. Good question. But like I said, 15-foot couch. I think that's more than enough for me. I'm about almost 7 feet. I'm like 6'5". So I take up probably half of that couch. But can you imagine like looking underneath and seeing all the coins and everything that are lost in there? And they'd have to keep them. That's just crazy. That's the crazy part. But imagine making a phone call saying, "I need a 15-foot couch." Crazy. Then of course we got some jewelry. And the photos of Lisa Marie. Excuse me. Those chairs do look comfortable, I'll tell you that. If you go on YouTube, there is a 360-degree, like a U-log, where you're sitting right here in front of the fire is going, and there's Christmas music playing. I put my VR headset on sometimes and just sit there and just pretend I'm at Graceland during Christmas time. The Christmas tree's right here. Christmas tree goes right here. The drapes change from blue to red. All right, this mirror right here came from Audubon Drive. Think about how many people in his life have looked in that mirror. You got Elvis, you got Gladys, you got Vernon, you got Lisa, you got Riley, you got all of them. Just, they've all looked in that mirror, and that mirror is engraved with everybody. One day I'm going to look in that mirror. I just know it. That'd be pretty cool. But if you go behind here, there is a door to take you out to the backyard. So there's a door behind these curtains they don't show you. You know what else I just noticed? There's no light switch in here. So this must all be one room, and Elvis separated it into two. It's got to be. Kelsey, I'm assuming Riley looked in the mirror. I don't know off the top of my head. But, I mean, comment would be, I mean, if Lisa was there and looked in the mirror, Riley was right behind her. I'm 9% sure of it. I don't know that off the top of my head, though. But, yeah, like I was saying, those light switches here must control the whole room. Because I don't see any other way to turn lights on in the music room. But obviously that piano's not there right now. It's the white one, I believe. This got moved to the complex across the street. Where's my plug? Ow. Why did that hurt so much? Sorry, guys. Running into issues with power here. All right. Moving right along. We are going to go to the dining room now. Oh, let's go back to the living room for a minute. In fact, it's the only room in the house without a chandelier. That I know of, at least. Or some sort of light in the ceiling. I didn't mean chandelier. I mean some sort of light in the ceiling. Pretty epic, huh? Ha ha ha. I'm funny, I know. All right. Think about all the times Elvis sat here and watched TV, especially during dinner. They always said he sat here, though. So if you were sitting there, how in the world could you watch that TV? That's my question. But look at that chandelier and how priceless it is. In fact, I'm going to save that. And I'm going to use it as something. But you would think, right? All the people that lived at Graceland and that little tiny table, like you would think the table would be a mile long. But no, it's a simple family table. And then in there you have all the collectible stuff, all the dishes and stuff you can't see from the tour. That's why this 360 is so cool, because you can see stuff you can't when you're on the tour. And those hidden Graceland videos that are on YouTube that Angie and Tom did, is all stuff you can't see when you're on the tour. Pretty amazing, though, huh? All right. So this painting in the kitchen was a gift to Elvis from his Tupelo friend Janelle McComb. Janelle McComb also a priceless gift for Elvis to give to Lisa when she was age 4. Now, the other cool thing about this room is everything still works besides the fridge. So the stove still works. And then this stove right here, if you look, there's 4 burners, right? But if you pull this out right here, There's another 4. A little hidden Graceland there. But you got your spices, probably dishes went up here, or pots and pans would be my guess. And then you got a toaster, a blender, the first microwave in Memphis. I wonder if Graceland has a garbage disposal. And that's what that is. I would imagine they do because Elvis had everything first. Can opener, juice dispenser, dishes up there. This is the security system here. Dishwasher. He had a trash compactor somewhere here. Unless if that's the trash compactor. He had it somewhere. I remember seeing it. And then over there is another bedroom that was used by Elvis's Aunt Delta when the tours were going on. She would stay here during the day and then go over to the parents' bedroom at night. Right, exactly. So just like Kelsey said, all the breakers are off right now for tour purposes. But when the family comes, they take all the plexiglass down, flip the breakers on, everything's up. And then the stairs I was telling you about before, for when you go up the stairs in the foyer and turn left on that door to go to the kitchen, this is where they land right here. I'm pointing like you can see. Right here. And then back there takes you to what they call the bird room. And then downstairs. But look at that light. Graceland's great architecture. This is pretty cool. I could look at this all day. And then I think back here is where they keep like the other fridge, the real fridge, and other bathrooms and stuff. Graceland has like a lot of bathrooms too. But this is Graceland's original back door too. Because remember, the jungle room was added on. But this is Graceland's original back door. In the 60s, you would walk out this back door and be outside. And then, of course, you have your little bar right here. All right. Jungle room. Look at that furniture, y'all. So this is where Elvis stood right here to record those 2 albums from Elvis Presley Boulevard and Moody Blue. And then all the furniture was taken out. And literally all the musicians were here. And I assume all and stuff went out here to the back to the RCA truck that was in the back. Got your little bar over here. You got your little seating areas. It's everywhere in Graceland. Do you see that? But one of these is also a record station too, or a stereo. I think it's this one over here. But there's a photo I saw the other day of Ben sitting in that chair. That's right. Now, yeah, this is the record player right here. I'm looking into that mirror from right here. And this is one of the only clocks in Graceland, too. But this is an actual waterfall that was added in the 60s. I believe Marty Lacker helped put that in, if I'm not mistaken. And favorite spots to curl up and sleep. And then think about this for a minute here. These are air conditioning units. There's one, two, I think there's another one down there too. So maybe 3 in the room. But the room is so big and there's no like closed off area. Yeah, that's not going to cool. That's not going to. The other cool thing about this room, Lisa recorded in the, I don't know about recorded, but did a live concert in this room too in 2013. That's right. Good. I think it was for Yahoo at the time. All right. You wouldn't want to use that fireplace and with all that fabric on the wall. Light a fire, whole building lights up on fire. There's the pool rip in the table. Which, interesting. I have video footage of the 80s where Billy Smith was taking Don, whatever his name, through the house, and there's no rip in that table. So where did that rip come from? That's the $1 million question. But there's also a crack in here too from the pool. Because I think Lisa said she was a kid. Oh yeah, Kelsey, you're right too. There was a big screen in the jungle room where the whatchamacallit is the I can't think where the waterfall is. Just think how much it cost and how long it took to put all that fabric up. Crazy. Can you imagine just sitting down there playing with Elvis? That's the rumor, Kels. I don't know or not, but I believe Graceland just says one of his friends did it. All right. We are in the world famous TV room. I don't know if it's world famous, but you got the 3 TVs on the wall because President Nixon had 3 TVs and wanted to be like the president. Was it Nixon or was it President Ford? Some president had 3 TVs on the wall. And then, of course, you got Graceland's sound system over here. Elvis's records. This piped music throughout the whole house, and during the Christmas tours, they actually use it and play Christmas music throughout the house. I think they should do that year round. But anyway, I digress. Projector screen right here, and if you were wanting to watch a movie, the projector is right over here. So this pops down, and projector projects onto the screen. You got the monkey on the table. You got your little U-shaped couch. Another fireplace. But I just love these rooms downstairs because they scream Elvis. Like the wall, mirrors on the ceiling, yellow paint, like it just screams Elvis. And then over here, I can't go there, but behind this wall is a door. That was the door that Jerry and Charlie lived in. Okay. So this is the backyard of Graceland. Right here, this is the path Elvis took in 64. No, sorry. My dates are all in 1960 when he came back from the army. This is the path he took for that press conference. So he goes doop 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 into Vernon's office. So you can walk that same exact path when you go to Graceland. Just walk out the back door and just walk along the carport. Yes, there. This is where Elvis would park all the cars right here. But those are the yeah. Remember how I said there's 3 air conditioning units in the jungle room? There they are. And then there is a set of stairs in the jungle room too. This goes up to the right here. So this is a terrace or a upper deck. Just went out above the jungle room. Lisa Marie and Sherry Lacker used to play up there, and Angie Lacker. And I believe there's a door also off of Lisa's room onto here. But I also think this is where those infamous firecracker battles would Elvis would come up here and just shoot them off the top of the roof here. Because that's how the swing set got ruined. But had bullet holes put through it. All right. Should we go into Vernon's office? This is interesting. Why is I gotta look at that. Why is the ceiling warped like that? But this is where Elvis sat and did the press conference from, right there. The file cabinets, the desk, the chair, everything should be, or maybe the chair is not original, but everything else should be original. And then it's been rumored that Elvis would sit here and read. I would do the same thing, to be honest with you. But did Elvis's father did all the bookkeeping, and he had the secretaries here. Pat West was a secretary for a while. Becky Yancey. And then a lot of people think that this window right here was put in for tour purposes, but no. Vernon put that window in actually, because Vernon's desk used to be down when you first walked in. But so Vernon had the window put in so he could see everything. But then the desk got moved back in here. And then you all know the sign on the door that says keep your business. This is for business only. If you don't have business, please leave. Blah blah blah. Well, this one says he or she, but one at a time. The boss, VEP. And then this right here is another thing from Audubon. So the lamp came from Audubon Drive. And then just think, right? Graceland said they have what? Over 1 million pieces of paper? How are you going to fit 1 million pieces of paper in these file cabinets? And you know Vernon kept everything. And I mean everything. And then if you open this door right here, there's a safe, which had like titles and car stuff and stuff like that. I'm very curious though. I've never noticed that before. Why is that like that? I don't know. But this is also right here where that photo was. That's staring on that's Elvis holding the bicycle tire. That's in the house. At the end of this 1977 CBS special, that photo is seen right here. Because Vernon's standing right, I want to say right here. thanking the fans. But yeah, that's Vernon's office. Pretty nifty, huh? It's very small too, if you think about it. But this used to be like servants' quarters. And Elvis didn't need that, so he gave it to his dad. And then over there is a shooting range. It's interesting. Now, if you go in the backyard, this is the racquetball building right here. And then, of course, you have the horses. The beautiful horses. Aww. He came to say hello. All right, let's go to the trophy building. All right. So the trophy building has had many uses throughout the years. Elvis used it first as I believe it was a slot car racing building where he did a lot of slot car. He fell in love with slot cars. That lasted for a hot minute, and then he transformed it into his trophy shop or his hall of awards. I think it was, and now it's the trophy building where they keep a lot of like family stuff and memorabilia, and that bicycle that was restored is in here, the family tree. A lot of stuff from the attic is in here. Gladys's stuff. It's just neat how much stuff Graceland has, you know? But if you look, like there's blueprints and there's checks and there's photos and Elvis's thing where that he was presented with for all the charities he donated to. And the slot cars, like I was saying, checks to purchase Graceland, Elvis's keys. Like this is a bunch of mementos and knickknacks and the deed to Graceland. It's just crazy. Crazy how much stuff is in here. Like you could literally spend all day. Like here's the blueprints to Graceland, and like there's a blueprints to a conference room he wanted to build at one point. There's that photo I was telling you about. That video I was telling you about. Lisa's baby toy. Lisa's this. Lisa's golf cart key. Conference room blueprints. Checks. I mean, like I said, you could spend all day in here just going through everything. Photos that fans have drawn Elvis. Thomas Kincaid photo. Elvis's RCA television that was gifted to him in the 60s. There's that famous photo of him and Colonel Parker standing on the front steps of Graceland. Elvis and Priscilla's wedding attire. Lisa's crib. Elvis's upstairs office. The red furniture. Well, now there's a whole red exhibit at Graceland, so I wonder what they put in that place. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Lisa's favorite photo of her right there. Peekaboo. The priceless gift. Horses over the years. Lisa, that's Lisa and her kids. That's Lisa and Ben. I love that photo. And it kills me that they're together again right now. It literally kills me. I'm hoping, Jerry. I'm hoping to be in a better place financially. And then this photo right here, I have that photo somewhere, signed by Aunt Delta. All right, racquetball. So this right here is where Elvis songs, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and I think it was Melody, if I'm not mistaken. But him, Ginger, Billy, and Joe were sitting in here, and he was just singing and playing the piano. He didn't even know that would be his last songs he would sing. The racquetball court does have it upstairs. It's over here. The reason why you can't go up it is because there's no way down. It's just it's a fire hazard. And like I told yesterday, they're not gonna edit things. But the water fountain still works. Now, before they built the across the street, sorry, my brain is all over the place. This is where they stored a lot of the stuff. So in the early footage, you can see all the jumpsuits were in here, all the memorabilia was in here, everything was in here. And when they built it across the street, they restored the racquetball court to what it really was. And if you're in there, I believe they pipe in Elvis singing. Very emotional. But when you're standing in here, you can just imagine him in here just goofing off and having a good time. He built this in 1975. Well, let's go inside the racquetball court here. And there's the speakers I was telling you about with the piping in. But this over here, this is the upstairs I was telling you about. There's an overlook. There's chairs right here, and you can literally look over and watch people play. And then last but not least, we're going to the meditation garden. And like I said before, this was before Lisa. They're not going to be in this 360 view. Yeah. So you've got, I think it's Minnie Mae, Elvis, Vernon, and Gladys. Then you got the Eternal Flame that's been going for forever. And then over here is where Lisa. So if you're standing from Elvis's grave, he's there directly across. So I'm going to leave it on that screen for a little bit. Y'all can have your moments of reflection. I'll even give you some background noise. Right. So that was our little tour of Graceland, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it. And hey, Alv NMP, I'm doing okay. Just trying to see if this YouTube thing's gonna work. Um, it's been a rough week, but you know what? We're pushing forward, and whatever happens, happens. But I'm gonna go for now, y'all. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, we're gonna be going live tomorrow afternoon, to honor Lisa. So join me tomorrow. Okay, guys. How do I end this?